Hi, I'm Michele Gooch. Have you ever considered the idea that we are responsible for our own experiences? I don't mean that we can control the circumstances around us, and I know we're definitely shaped by our past events, but we don't have to be defined by them. Think of Abraham Lincoln. He had many failures and losses during his life. He had a business failure, he lost his fiancée, he even had a nervous breakdown. He was defeated a dozen times before he ran for office. Certainly seems like there's no way he could move on to success. But he was elected president and helped set in motion the freedom of the American slaves. Lincoln didn't choose the experiences of failure and defeat, but he did choose how he responded to them. His life really demonstrates that this potential that we have to turn our predicaments into achievements. Obviously, the events were not up to him, but when we look closely, it's his attitude that determined how his circumstances influenced him. Let me give you another example. Suppose three boys were raised in a home with an alcoholic father. When the father comes home drunk and belligerent every night, the oldest son stands up to him and he says, "Don't lay a hand on me." The middle son doesn't feel as strong against him, so he appeases him. He says, "What can I do for you, Dad? What do you need? I'll take care of it." The youngest son, he's completely intimidated by his father. So he just runs and hides. He just wants to get away. He hides in the closet or under the bed. Well, fast forward 20 years and find these guys as men, and you discover that they're responding to difficult situations in the same exact way. One fights, one appeases, one runs. But the circumstances have changed. These guys are all grown up, they're in control of their own lives, but their deeply ingrained patterns of responding have begun to define them. This is just another example of how we are responsible for our own experiences. Our responses to our experiences are of critical importance in how we are formed and the kind of people we become. The good news to me is that while I can't control events, I can control my response to them. So it's great to know that it's never too late to retrain how I respond. I responded repeatedly over about a decade to a bad experience with bitterness, negativity, and anger. With the help of a really gifted mentor, I moved from these poor responses to good responses. The bad experiences didn't change, but the outcome changed completely, meaning I was no longer bitter because I began to respond differently. I'm going to say that one more time. If you want the outcomes in your life to change, it is your response that must change. You're not trapped by your circumstances, but you could be trapped by the way you're responding to them. People who respond poorly to life experiences, they develop faulty worldviews and they begin to lead out of a place of fear. They abuse their power, they control people, they even seek positions in order to exert control. But people who respond to life's experiences from a positive stance, looking for the opportunity, looking for the lesson to be learned, remaining open and vulnerable, these people, they lead from a place of authenticity. There's so much more for us to process about how we respond to the events and circumstances in our lives. If you'd like to explore this in more depth, visit my website at www.lifebydesign.guru and sign up for one-to-one coaching. In the month of October, I am offering a discount. Enrollment will open October 12th, and the discount will be good through the end of October. Consider how important your life experiences are in shaping and making you. Are you taking time to reflect and learn from your life experiences? Think of a turning point in your journey, a critical moment of adversity that really changed how you looked at life, how you understood life, and even shaped the way you lead, the leadership approach. How have your responses to this experience? How have you been responding to this experience? Sorry. Does your response need to change? Leave a comment below. Tell me an example of how a different response could have impacted the outcome for you. Be brave and start being deliberate about your responses to adversity.